Hello again, Year 4. Miss Ty here to talk you through your SPaG activity for this week, and we are looking at possessive apostrophes and determiners. So we are looking at using apostrophes to show possession. So apostrophes can be used to show that something belongs to someone or something. It's not always a person, someone or something, a noun. And this is called possession, ownership. When we're talking about one thing, we call it singular. So if you look at the picture there as your guide, for example, a girl or a pencil, singular nouns. When we need to say that something belongs to something singular, we put an apostrophe and then an S at the end of the name that it belongs to. And we're going to look at some examples to make this a little bit clearer. Okay, so we're going to look at some examples. We're going to look at this one particular picture and break it down a little bit when it comes to person and common noun, and then we look at a different example when we're talking about a proper noun, the name of a place. So the girl's pencil, so it is the pencil belonging to one girl, singular. So we use our apostrophe S after the word girl, so it becomes the girl's pencil to show possession. It is her pencil, she owns it. Common noun, we're looking at the pencil itself, and the tip of the pencil is broken. So the pencil's tip was broken. Again, apostrophe S to show that it's the tip belonging to that one particular pencil. And a proper noun, I had to get a little bit of Ireland in here. Ireland's national flag is green, white and gold. So the national flag belonging to Ireland, Ireland being one nation, so apostrophe S to show it's a singular country. Ireland's national flag is green, white and gold. Now, what happens if the noun is singular but it already ends in an S? Well, what we do is we add another apostrophe S. Look at the following examples here. We've got my boss's suit was very smart. So the suit belonging to my boss's suit was very smart. Remember, boss already ends in an S, but we still need to add apostrophe S. So if a singular noun ends in an S, you add another apostrophe S. The class's pet was a stick insect. Mr. Burns' car, so the car belonging to Mr. Burns, looks expensive. And of course, the great Charles Dickens's novels are interesting. So the novels belonging to Charles Dickens. So of course, in our SPaG, there are often exceptions to the rule. And this tends to be the case with names, especially kind of old-fashioned names that end in an S but have a vowel directly before them. And I'm going to show you an example. So in Sunday school, we studied Moses' parting of the Red Sea. So the parting of the Red Sea belonging to Moses. And Moses, you can see, ends in an S, but it's got a vowel. Remember, your vowels are A, E, O, I and U directly before it, okay? So watch out for that, because there is an example of a name in your pack this week, and be very careful. It ends in an S, but does it have a vowel before it? And you'll often know once you've added your apostrophe S or your apostrophe after the S, you'll know by the sound of it, because there is still arguments over which way is correct to do it. And here's another example. This is one of the trickier aspects of possessive apostrophes, words that end in an S. So if you look at these two examples here, we've got St. Thomas's Hospital and St. Thomas's Hospital. Now we can see that the word Thomas ends in an S, but it's got an A before it. And both of these are accepted. Both of these have been used and both of these are accepted. So it's one of those really difficult, tricky rules. But my advice to you is, if you see a name, remember it's a name that ends in an S and it's got a vowel before it, put an apostrophe after the S. Follow that rule. And we move on to plurals then when we're showing possession. So when we're talking about more than one thing, we call this plural. For example, a pack of wolves or a group of countries. So if the noun is plural and ends in an S, add only an apostrophe. For example, the wolves' prey was a deer, so the prey belonging to the wolves. Wolves ends in an S, so you just place an apostrophe after the S. Remember, if the noun is plural, there's more than one, there's a pack of wolves, and it ends in an S, add the apostrophe, only add an apostrophe. If the noun is plural and does not end in an S, then you simply add your apostrophe S like we do for a singular, to show singular possession too. So the children's classroom is empty, the classroom belonging to the children. Remember, children is plural, so we've just added our apostrophe S. The geese's pond was very beautiful, the pond belonging to the geese. Remember, it is a group of geese. And plural nouns can be spelt using a variety of different letter endings. So as long as the noun ends with an S, we still show an apostrophe of possession, using apostrophe without an S after it. And here's some examples. So the pony's diet is mostly grass. The diet belonging to the ponies, a group of ponies as you can see in the picture. And the house's chimneys are all made from brick. The chimneys belonging to the houses, you can see more than one house there. So the house's chimney are all made of brick. They end in an S, so just add the apostrophe after the S. And then we move on to determiners. So determiners, I've always found, are, once you know what they are, they're very easy to spot, but they're kind of difficult to define exactly what they are. But a determiner is a word that goes before a noun and identifies the noun. So I'm going to talk you through the different types of determiners, and we're going to look at the most common determiners first of all. They're referred to as articles. So you can see we've got our nouns there in black, boy, orange and cat. And those three words are the most common determiners. We see them most frequently: a boy, an orange and the cat. The second type of determiner we're talking about is demonstrative, and this helps us to refer to a specific item, object or person. So we've got our nouns there again: apple, car, shop, girls. So this apple, that car, these shops, or those girls. So they help us to refer to a specific noun. Then we've got our possessive determiners. And this helps to show ownership again, possession. So it's his hat, her homework, my book, and their house. So quite common determiners as well, those possessive. Then we move on to quantifiers. Now these are used to indicate quantity. So some rice, each word, every box. They are just some of the quantifiers, but remember, they help us to the quantity that we are talking about. We also have an easy one, numbers. They are determiners as well once they come in front, directly in front of the noun. Remember, that is the secret. Find the noun and then the determiner should be in front. 1 chair, 2 men, 3 dogs. And finally, question words are also determiners. We've got our 3 nouns there: bag, letter, computer, and the word directly before that. Remember, that is the secret when it comes to finding determiners, are which bag, what letter, whose computers. Now, one thing I will talk to you about in a moment is sometimes we may have an adjective between the determiner and the noun, so be careful, watch out for that, and we will have an example of that to follow. So I would like you in a moment to pause the video and have a go. We've got 5 sentences here. Have a go. Can you locate the determiners? Whose socks are these? The winding river is just beyond those trees, and watch out for that one. Remember, when finding a determiner, yes, we're looking for a noun, and the determiner should come just before the noun, except there might be an adjective in there, so be careful. 5 seagulls landed on the beach. Any computers must be turned off, and she bought some flowers. And yes, they are Mr. Webster's socks in the photo. So pause the video and have a go at answering these, finding the determiners. Remember that key trick, look for the noun and look directly in front of the noun then, because the determiner will refer specifically to the noun. So how did you do? Whose socks are these? The winding river. Remember, river is the noun, the is the determiner, but we have got an adjective in the middle, so watch out for those. The winding river is just beyond those trees. 5 seagulls landed on the beach. Any computers must be turned off. And finally, she bought some flowers, one of our quantifiers. So I hope this is useful. I hope this is helpful. Determiners are a tricky one until you get used to them. So watch the video a couple of times if you need to, or please send us a message, send your teachers a message if you are stuck, and if your adult can't help. Okay, good luck guys. Hope to see you all again soon. Missing you all and loving seeing all that brilliant work coming in every week. Take care.